And then, of course, we've got to finish this thing up. I wish we'd finished it up a lot sooner. I am not making this up to you folks, and maybe this is why that I've had so much feedback from the cult. Maybe this is why that they've lost 200,000 people off this television program unless I review it, because I ain't making this up. I couldn't make this up. They have an alleged babyface tag team called Best Friends. Trent, no last name anymore, and Hatchet Head McGee, otherwise known as Chuck Taylor, they were dropped off in the arena by Trent's legitimate real mother in a minivan. And she let him out and then demanded that Trent give her a kiss on the cheek before he walked on down to the ring. This was a thing they thought would be good for their wrestlers. They can't even try, can they? Can't try to be serious. There's no hope. It's not like Best Friends are ever going to be anything remotely approaching a good tag team. Trent has potential. He looks like an athlete and he can work. He's buried constantly next to this hatchet-headed goof he's partners with and all the fucking idiots and outlaw goofs they run around with. But he's also buried by the booking. He's always the one they beat. Never Taylor, who looks like 6 foot of shit warmed over. He's always the one they embarrass. Now his mother has to kiss him on the cheek before he goes to the ring, so he's dead. He's deader than 4 o'clock. Deader, flatter than a plate full of piss. So they might as well give up now, but they won't. So Best Friends are going to wrestle Adam Page and Kenny Olivier, the tag team champions that used to not like each other, but now they've just, without ever splitting up, they've stopped hitting each other accidentally 17 times in every match. Have you noticed? And they haven't split up, but Kenny Olivier still won't drink alcohol because of him being a pussy at all. I noticed that Olivier's entrance is the embodiment of a popcorn fart. You've got your pyro, you got your loud music, you got your lights, you got your noise. But underneath all of that, for substance, you have a flat-footed, mopey-faced, Harpo Marx-looking schlub coming out to the ring like it's the last place he wants to be, gesticulating with his fingers. When the match started, Olivier opened with Hatchet Head. I double dog dare anybody. You do not have a single hair on any of your nuts out there in podcast land. If you do not go back to the tape of this match and start playing Olivier and Taylor's opening minute of choreographed prancing with the saber dance in the background. You know the saber dance, Brian. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure.
Except the plate spinner on the Ed Sullivan Show was now these two fucking goofs diving and flipping and hopping and prancing about, looking like they're playing at doing wrestling moves, but having no actual contact or oomph or anything with the moves, just fucking hopping around like, where's the trained dog? I guess that's next week in the Puppy Bowl. The trained dog should have been jumping through some hoops behind their attempts at wrestling. Trent and Adam Page, then they got in and they looked like actual professional wrestlers interacting with each other. But once again, here's two babyface teams that neither one should work heel. So both of them at various times work heel in this match. FTR came out with lawn chairs and coolers to scout the opposition. I guess that's what they're doing now since last week. 2 job guys stole their fucking truck. Fucking moron idiot. Everybody involved in putting this television program together should be fucking sued in court. I wish there was a Stephen P. New spot in this program for crimes against wrestling, or at least against booking. So FTR, the best tag team in the world, is out there drinking beer and scouting these guys because the job guys stole their truck last week. And here was the summation of the last fucking 5 or 10 minutes of this thing. More guys doing the same kind of shit to each other, diving around and taking car wreck bumps. Chuck Taylor still looks physically deplorable. No logic to this, no flow. Constantly all 4 guys in the ring. Trent at one point stood staggering, watching Olivier come off the top and drop kick him. Did you see that when Olivier's going to drop kick Trent in the back of the head off the top rope? So Trent stands there, staggering, and looks over his shoulder, waiting for Olivier to get up and come off so that he can get drop kicked. Then Paige made a save one time for Olivier. Olivier was being covered by fucking Taylor, so Paige makes a save by accidentally hammer fisting his own partner in the face when he missed Chuck Taylor. Oh, and here come Kitty Olivier, and he busted out the Snapdragons. Twinkle Toes McFingerbang was a dangerous man here. The least impressive comeback move in wrestling history, the Snapdragon, on both of the friends, then flat-footed cold tag Paige back in. All of them stayed in with the referee not counting, while the announcers were talking about they had a 10 count. But they took about a 30 or 40 count, but there was nobody counting anyway. I then wrote, this circle jerk would not end. Then Taylor dropped Olivier on his fucking head. The best friends hugged, but lost their advantage. So they're fucking idiots, too. They're about to win the World Tag Team title, but they stop to hug and lose their advantage. That's baby faces I'm sure all of America would love to support. Then Trent chopped Paige as hard as he could in the Adam's apple for some reason. I have no idea why. Even the announcers called it. Olivier and Taylor vanished then from the face of the earth while Paige and Trent did shit to each other. And then Adam Page hit the buckshot lariat 1, 2, 3. They always beat Trent. Never do they beat Chuck Taylor, someone who looks like that's all that should happen to him is to be beaten and then pulled up so he could be beaten down again. I do not recall a worse tag team match ever happening in history. Then FTR come to the ring.
Come on, the worst match in history?
I just wrote, I don't recall a worse tag team match. That's because I'm suffering from amnesia, from the fucking PTSD of watching this stupidity. And then FTR came in the ring and offered Paige and Olivier beers. And they accepted them, but Olivier's a dick and poured his out. And FTR were going to fight him about that, but the Bucks run out dressed like fucking, once again, middle school fucking children on recess, with Road Warrior Buck having his hair up in a cute little man bun. And they decided to make peace and talk everybody down out of it. And that was it. Fuck, I wish you could hear me setting shit on fire.
Don't rip it up.
I've got to get a goddamn, I'm going to get a stick of dynamite. I got 2 acres in the back. How far will shit fly if you blow it up with 1 stick of dynamite?
Are you going to use dynamite because the name of the show is Dynamite?
No, it's just because I want to blow this actually up. And I'm wondering what can I use? Like I said, I've got a lot of space back there. I can get way away from everybody's house and everything. Should it be dynamite? Should it be just fucking gasoline and goddamn a Molotov cocktail?
That seems like a lot of work for a piece of paper. I think there's so much good you could be doing for the world of wrestling with these notes. Why destroy them?
I wish I had just had time to stick my microphone down in between my ass cheeks where I just farted. And that would be my commentary on that television program. So basically what we had here, and it wasn't even a popcorn fart. It was full of flavor, and it was a full flavored fucking, and humidity. Had humidity to it. It wasn't just a poof. What we had here, besides the failure to communicate, was Timothy Thatcher and Oney Lorcan had a good match on the card. Roderick Strong had a good match with himself.
Wasn't that good?
Well, a good match is a good match to have with yourself. Now, if he'd had an opponent, it'd been easier and it'd been better. MJF and Wardlow and Dino Douche and Jungle Boy had a good match, okay, until it fell in the hole at the finish. Jake Hager and Cody actually, made people proud to like pro wrestling for just a few brief moments. And Taz and Brian Cage cut a good promo. And together, the Great American Bash and Fyter Fest, 4 hours of shit. That's all we got that was palatable to almost anyone. I'm disgusted. And I can't wait to see what to come up with next week. Try to fucking make up for this but I call this one a draw. I don't see a winner.